Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Hot Mess Tom and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to my channel, the ethos of my channel are that I want to love my makeup collection as it currently stands. I want to be critical of new makeup releases, and I also want to be very considerate when I do decide to make purchases or bring anything into my collection, that I'm making as best a choice that I can with the knowledge that I have of these products to bring them into my collection. If you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe. I would also appreciate a like on this video. And if you really want to support me and fork out some dollars for me, I'm also on Patreon if you want to support me there. Hi, if you are new here, I know that there are some new subscribers from the Becoming Hannah Louise post and video. Thank you so much for sticking around to seeing what I'm all about. Critical Sass, this video is basically my new makeup releases video, and what I do is I look at all the things that are coming. What I like to do is look at all the things coming out, take some inventory, look at them, and then talk about them. And I'm critical of them, but the things that deserve to be celebrated, I truly will love to celebrate too. So it's like a multifaceted experience that we're doing here, and I appreciate you for being along for the ride. I use resources like Trend Mood One, like many of us do, Makeup Release Radar. I'm going to pull up Trend Mood. I didn't curate this, what I'm about to talk about. I'm just going to talk about them as they come to me. So I'm going to start with newest releases first and then work my way back until I hit what I've talked about. I do these every 2 weeks. There are also, hi, new people. There are brands that I refuse to talk about on my channel because I don't agree with them. So if you hear me talking about something that you think that I would have talked about, then that's probably why. So Essence Cosmetics did a Jurassic World collection, and honestly, it's kind of cute. It's got like tropical vibes, which I don't know. I don't know if Jurassic World, I don't know where they are in the world right now with Jurassic World. The last time I saw a Jurassic Park movie was the first Jurassic World movie, so they were still on the island. But I do believe that we have the cup runneth over and we are no longer on the island. But anyway, I'm not a Jurassic World channel, so you're gonna have to find that information elsewhere. It's like not gonna be from me. Oh, I forgot to mention this in the top video, and I wanted to mention it again, and I will also be doing a bigger video on my eyes today. I have the Club Nebula palette from Kaleidos. That was the collaboration with Angelica Nickvist. I think I'm getting closer. Nickvist. I'm getting there. Anyway, my friend Kristen at Beauty Beatdown sent that to me because she had bought an extra one. And so now I have it. And so now it's on my eyes and I'm excited about it. And so thank you again, Kristen. And I want to do a video where I'm like talking about the friend mail and talking about Kristen's channel. But thank you again, Kristen, if you are watching. Okay. So, I mean, nothing about this Essence collection really like sings to me in such a way where I feel like I need to purchase anything from it. But as someone who is famously not someone who like often buys drugstore makeup, I think this is like really, really cute. But it would take a lot from something from the drugstore to really, really jump out at me and make me say that I want it. Apparently, I'm just losing my voice or I'm going through puberty again. Milk Makeup is releasing a new line called the Hydro Ungrip. But why? Okay, for what? So the Hydro Ungrip Makeup Removing Cleansing Balm for $36. The Hydro Ungrip Makeup Remover and Cleansing Water. So I'm guessing that's like a micellar water. Oh, it's a micellar water. The Hydro Ungrip Reusable Makeup Remover Pads. So, like, I get it, but, like, what is Milk Makeup? Like, what is Milk Makeup? Like, I think they had, at one point, like, a pretty clear identity. Oh, my God, I forgot to button this back thing. So sorry if that was distracting you. That makes a lot of sense. I was like, the shirt just doesn't look like the way it's supposed to. So, but now they're making skincare, and I have tried the Milk Makeup Moisturizer, which I really liked, and the cleanser, which I did not like. So, I mean, I'm sure that this will be okay, but I just... I just actually, Kaki just did a video on what's worth it and what's not video on Milk Makeup. And even as I was watching her use the items, I was like, what is the brand? What is the brand? I think it's gotten lost in the sauce, and I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about it anymore. I feel like they haven't come out with anything that I've been like truly excited about in a really long time. Cause at first they kind of had like a little bit, like they had some, like, they were like Glossier, but a little more whimsical, where it was like everything kind of had like a sheen of razzle dazzle, like a little bit of something to it. And I just think that now I don't know who they are. There's a new Infinite Chromeflakes that is called Pride, celebrating Pride Month. I've not tried the Chromeflakes, and this isn't to come for Danessa Myricks specifically. So I guess I was kind of assuming that I was also going to read somewhere along the lines of like, and proceeds will be donated to something, and they aren't. Not maybe they are, but according to what I see here on Trendmood, I don't see that. And so this makes me feel a little icky because it's like rainbow washing is a thing. It is a thing. And like sometimes I have qualms with it. Sometimes I kind of get over it a little bit. But like just to release something called Pride, why couldn't you just, and you're putting it in the packaging, like the cardboard component that it comes in is also rainbow, which I don't think is common for this product, but it might be. I don't know. I've never bought a Chromeflake. I'm just feeling some kind of way about it. And I realize I guess this is probably going to be a lot of what we see coming up as June's coming. You know, I think this isn't interesting. The big companies doing it is not interesting to me unless like their owners are LGBTQ and they are celebrating themselves. And I don't know about Danessa Myricks. I don't know. But like, you know, like what comes to mind is like Phytosurgeons, which is like a queer owned brand. Like I would love to see their take on Pride, but they're also such a small brand where they can't be like making products that are like, you know, I understand that, but like this ain't it. But it's pretty, but also it's just like, it's like not a new multi-chrome, like it's, I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know. I just like, what are we celebrating here? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I just don't know. Oh, Hipdot and Cup Noodles. Honestly, the color story, the thing is, if you look, one, I've discussed on my channel before, I don't understand Hipdot as like a brand. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is Hipdot? Just like Milk Makeup, what is Hipdot's brand other than being a collaboration brand? But the other thing is like, there's no, you know how like Too Faced, say what you will about the brand Too Faced, but it's kind of like common knowledge that their permanent products have like a better quality than their limited edition products, or like especially like their holiday time products. But at least there's like that, you know, like there is something to some of their formulas. Whereas Hipdot, I've never heard like a good, nice thing being said about Hipdot. What is your brand? Who are you? Where's your reliable formula? Because we don't even know what that is, because it does. And I mean, I don't know. I've never touched any Hipdot makeup, but it feels to me as though like the formula might be different every time. Like I'm assuming that every time they put out a product, the formula isn't the same. And it's never to improve on it, because why would they invest the money to improve on their formula when they're just selling stuff with other people's branding on it? Anyway, if you look at this color story, the colors are pretty and like very neutral and very wearable, but I don't think anyone will buy this because it has Cup Noodles on it. Do you want to use the Cup Noodles palette? Now, I understand that some people really like that whimsical experience when they're putting on my makeup. I'm not that person. I like whimsy. Like I feel like I appear as a whimsical human, but like it's not how I want my makeup to like feel and be. Alicia Keys' brand, which I think is just called Keys, is releasing Keys Soul Care, the color collection. Now, it in this Trendmood post, it does acknowledge that Alicia Keys hasn't worn makeup in quite some time, and these are all supposed to be like really natural, wearable situations. Cool. I mean, this is like on brand, right? Like, you know, if Alicia Keys was going to wear makeup, it's probably not going to be something, we're not going to go from 0 to Danessa Myricks, right? Like, we're not going to make that jump into like crazy rainbow color situation. So this makes sense. Branding wise, I'm following you. Is this anything that I'm interested in? No, not because I don't like natural makeup, but I don't even know where to buy this. I don't even know where would you buy this? So there's two things. There's a comforting tinted lip balm with avocado oil, and they're like tinted lip balms. There's a clear brow gel, and the sheer flush cheek tint with sunflower seed oil. This is someone's judge. This is someone's judge. And as I am, taking on the cool girl aesthetic, as I have kind of done in previous videos, not this much. I don't need it. So sometimes in these critical Sass videos, I like to, whenever there's a speculation post on Trend Mood. So Haus Labs removed all of their Instagram posts and everything has been marked down. Now, I saw, where was I looking? What was I watching? I can't remember. So I'm so sorry to the creator that I got this information from. But Lady Gaga essentially liked a tweet hinting that it could be coming to Sephora, that Haus Labs could be coming to Sephora. Now, are they rebranding too? Because if you're marking down all the products, typically that means you're repackaging, rebranding. All I hope is that it's no longer exclusively through Amazon. And actually maybe just not on Amazon anymore. I don't know. I know that because it's happened, with Fenty, which was an exclusive brand to Sephora. This happens sometimes. So I'm hoping that is the case. So I hope to see Haus Labs potentially in Sephora. I hope to see a really exciting launch to make that happen. Because Haus Labs, it's just it's kind of missing me. I've heard good things about the black eyeliner. And I haven't really heard anything about anything else in that brand. Because I'm not seeking it out. Because I don't understand why it was only being sold on Amazon. And that was my biggest excursion. And I know that I can choose not to shop on Amazon just as people can choose to shop on Amazon. And I know that Amazon makes things really accessible to a lot of people. So I can understand and appreciate that. But as someone who has the means to not do that, I'm just going to not to do that. Anyway, so hopefully something comes of that. That's fun. BPerfect Cosmetics has, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, but makeup by Alina or Alina. I would just like to hone in on the palette. Okay, so we all understand that no color stories can be new, right? However, whenever there are this many pans in an eyeshadow palette, are we really curating an experience anymore? Because it's you couldn't decide, so you just put all of them in. Whereas when someone puts together a quad or 8 pans or 10 pans, those were clearly selected for a reason. I don't like palettes that are this big. And on the flip side, as someone with a larger makeup collection, and as us beauty lovers who consume content here on the internet, a lot of us, I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us who consume this kind of content have collections that we've curated over time. Because so these big palettes make sense to me if I was just starting out makeup. But what the beauty makeup cycle is trying to trick both you and me into is saying that even though you have essentially every color under the sun, this is going to be something that adds to your collection. But I think with these bigger palettes, it's a harder sell, right? Because you can sell me any kind of green, swampy fantasy, and it's going to be something that I'm instantly interested in because those are the colors that I really lean into and prefer to wear on my eyes. But it's you have to sell me a fantasy, and the fantasy that they're selling is all the colors. Now, obviously, there is I do think there's a decided color story, right? We have green, blues, and then some pinks and reds, but that's still a lot of the colors in the rainbow, right? It's still while it's not all of the colors in the rainbow, it's just what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And this is no shade to the creator or the makeup artist, whoever they collaborated with. But it's too many colors. It's too many shades. It's just it's if I asked you what was your inspiration, you could say anything because you could essentially do anything with this palette, which again makes sense for someone who's just starting out makeup. But why should I, someone with this many things? And I guess, we're selling to different people, but it's not tricking me. It's not tricking me, but it's not ugly. And the outside packaging is really gorgeous. So I'm into that. But I don't need anything that's inside of this palette. This Saie Concealer, they really said 9's enough. Is it? I think like we're in this weird cycle. Well, I don't feel that everything needs to come in 1,000 shades. I think a lot of brands are really trying to rely heavily on the notion that like it's customizable coverage, baby. So it doesn't matter what your undertone is. It doesn't matter how fair your skin is. Like this is going to melt into the skin. And it's going to be exactly what you need it to be. What that says to me is that I don't know that there is like makeup technology that's capable of that. Like I surely don't believe that. And if someone can show me what that means, sure. But what that means to me is that there's not enough coverage in it to cover anything, and it's just going to look like your skin. Does that make sense? Where it's like, is it really customizable color, or is it just not enough color to cover what color I do have? Anyway, State of Kate did a video recently, and I watched her use these I used the concealer, and she had the lightest shade and the second lightest shade, and boy howdy are those two very different shades. So she had to mix her own, and she said that she was in contact with the company. And so this is all secondhand information. So if you want to watch Kate's video, I will link her video down below. And in Kate's video, she said that she like reached out to the brand, and they said they were like formulating the in-between shades, but it's just like, why are we doing this? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses. I'm feeling like very RuPaul right now. I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses, because don't launch a product until it's ready. And if 9 shades, and if people have already told you that you need to fill the gaps and you said you were working on them, then it wasn't ready to be launched. I'm sorry. And you could have just sat on it for a little bit until all of your formulations were correct and you had enough shades, maybe double. If we're going to go with that customizable, whatever. But like, certainly not just 9. Certainly not just 9. There are some people who really celebrate Made by Mitchell. And I'm not that I'm not, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know who that is. And that's not a read, because surely this person doesn't know who I am either. They're blush highlight hybrids in the Blursh lights. Those look really shiny. Those look like highlighters. I wish that these swatches in this... The other thing is, this is like, I don't think this would be a product I'd be interested in like trying to understand. Whereas like the Danessa Myricks Blur Powder Balm, whatever that was, I was like, I really need to know how this is going. But also, are they blush? Are they blushes? Because when you look at some of the shades, I'm like, is that a blush? Like, is silver a blush? Now that I think about it, that'd be like an interesting thing to see, but I don't know. I don't know about this. I'm looking at it. It's like, while I do like a sheen and occasionally a sparkle to my blush, this seems like a lot. This seems like a lot. This felt like a personal attack. Charlotte Tilbury is releasing the beautiful Skin Sun Kissed Glow bronzer. It's a face and body cream bronzer. I love a cream bronzer. Interesting though that this is only coming out in 4 shades. Now, I'm not mad at the 4 shades that are being released, but like bronzer ranges can always be better. I don't remember how many are in her powder bronzer range, but I would have just assumed that it would come out in the same range as the powder bronzers. But okay, sure. I'm not going to buy this, but I would say if Charlotte Tilbury has ever sold a fantasy that I was interested in, it's this one. And just the way it's like pressed and embossed also is very alluring to me. I'm like, I want that. I want to touch that. Like at least want to touch it. And so like sometimes cream products come in like jars that you twist all the way up. I'm a little bit lazy. So the idea of this being in a compact is like very appealing to me. Although Unlike something that you twist on and off, this is not going to have an airtight seal. So your days are numbered once you start using this. That's what I imagine. Like, it's only going to hold that emolliency with anyway. I don't know what the right answer as far as packaging a cream bronzer. Anyway, so I'm not really coming for that, but this is like pretty. And and if you're new here, I shit talk Charlotte Tilbury quite a bit. Not saying that these products don't work for a lot of people, because people really do seem to like Charlotte Tilbury, but I've never seen a Charlotte Tilbury. I've never touched a Charlotte Tilbury product that made me say that this is something that I need in my life. A faux filter concealer coming out from Huda Beauty that has a luminous matte finish. What does that mean? Luminous matte. Wait. I'm not someone who wears much full coverage anymore. However, here's what I will say about that foundation, or at least the original one. I'm not familiar with the new formulation, because I do believe it was reformulated. That original foundation, even though it was like full coverage and thick, it looked really good, both on camera and in person. Better on camera, but like, I took a sample of it and I wore it to work a few times, and I really liked the way my skin looked in it. But there is, the Huda glowish, the branding. What's the fantasy? So if this is going to be like a really high coverage concealer, I think it'll do well, because people really, if there's like the one thing that people seem to still want to be the highest of coverage is the concealer. So good for her, because the Huda concealers, they might still exist. I don't know if they're going to go away, but like the concealers were in a squeezy tube, and a squeezy tube concealer is not my fantasy, and I didn't like them. So hopefully these are better for me. I mean, not for me, but like for consumers like me who are interested in the brand Huda. So that's a lot of things that I'm not. Like, I'm not interested in the Huda brand. I am not. Yeah. So not a product for me, but I think that this is a good idea for the Huda Beauty range. So Jones Road, which is Bobbi Brown, the actual makeup artist's makeup line, because Bobbi Brown left the Bobbi Brown makeup. I don't believe I got what I said wrong, but it started feeling wrong as I was saying it. Anyway, they are releasing the Tinted Moisture Balm in 12 shades. It's always 9, 12, multiples of 3. So when a Tinted Moisture Balm meets a traditional foundation, $44 each. Light, medium coverage. Okay, so like, I think kind of like the Wayne Goss foundation, which I actually talked about it in a critical Sass, but then deleted it because I got pretty heated during it, because I like looked at it again. If you're only going to launch 12 shades, which I don't believe that is the case, I still don't think this is enough shades. So know that. However, the gradient is kind of there, right? Like, if we're only doing one of each kind of thing in each gradient, it's kind of there. But it's just like, is that enough? Oh, because some of the shades look like, the shade Honey is orange. I recently reviewed the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation. And that it's really unappealing that it comes in a jar. It's also very unappealing that this comes in a jar. So that would be like my first issue with it. I'm going to go ahead and say that this might be a beautiful formula, but I'm going to go ahead and say Jones Road is maybe for a clientele that's older than I am, because that might be like what Bobbi Brown, that's who Bobbi Brown's selling that fantasy to. But what I will say is that, no, I love a complexion product, but this has less shades than the Future Skin, which was 15, which isn't better, much better, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Like, who are you interested in this? Who's interested in this? Someone tag me in Tag me when you, someone tag me when you figure it out, because it's not me. I have a tumultuous history with Pat McGrath. If you're not new here, you know this. If you are new here, well, hi, welcome. Hi. So I used to be the Pat McGrath stan. I bought like almost every launch all the time. Pat McGrath is selling, it's dabbling in skincare, and she's launching the Rose 001 Essence. I feel like the way they're selling this essence, and they're like promising this like dewy glow from wearing this essence, that's not what I understand that skincare step to be. So when I worked at Sephora, there was a bunch of brand reps, and a lot of the higher end skincare brands have essences in them, and they're always expensive, even more expensive than what Pat McGrath. I believe this is $68. It's like not cheap, but not the most expensive essence that I have seen. Okay, the pricing isn't on Trend Mood. As I understand and have learned from brand reps while I was working at Sephora, an essence is after you cleanse your face. So either if you're double cleansing after you do that, or if you just single cleanse, you apply an essence after that step. And what essences do, I don't remember the like science and technology of it, but essentially what they do is they prep your skin for your skincare, essentially. And how they would always demo essences to people like me who like were like, I don't really know what this is. They would get 2 of those, the disposable makeup sponge applicators at Sephora, and they would apply an essence to one of the sponges, and then they would leave the other one dry. And then they would take a serum from whatever line they were demoing, and they would put a droplet of that serum on top of the essence sponge, and they would also put a drop of the serum on the sponge that didn't have the essence on it. And the sponge that had the essence on it every time would soak up the serum completely, where the sponge that did not have the essence on it would soak up less. And not like, it would still soak up some, but less. So what an essence is doing is like optimizing your skincare and allowing your skin to receive all of the benefits of your skincare and absorb it more and make it more efficient. Never once did a brand say like, this is going to make your skin look dewy, because I don't think that's what it's supposed to do. So I don't know what this product actually is, but it's not what I have ever heard or known what an essence is to be. I stand by saying that she's in her flop era. Like, this is bad. I don't want this. I'm sure it smells like rose. Like, ew. Ew. I know that some people like the smell of rose, but it's a divisive smell. It's a divisive scent. So if you're going to scent something like that, you're like excluding quite a bit of people. I really hate that. I hate that's what Pat McGrath has decided to do. Okay, so I'm kind of caught back up on Trend Mood. I'm going to check a couple other profiles to see if I can find anything else. So Rowan Beauty is releasing a new Rowan Beauty is releasing a new eyeshadow quad. It's the Eyes on Me eyeshadow palette, and it's a rose gold and copper palette. Now, I love these kind of tones. I really do. So this is really pretty. I hesitate. So now Rowan's a brand that I've been interested in because I follow both Rowan Beauty and Hannah Louise Poston, who seem to be pretty big fans of these quads. However, both of those people have like no issues with creasing. Like, they don't mind a creasy look. Whereas me, with my oily lids, creasy is trauma. So I do believe if I bought a Rowan quad, I would not enjoy it based on what I've heard other people say about their experience with them while celebrating them. Because sometimes you have to hear through that, because sometimes people who don't mind things, when they tell you that should be the word you're honing in on and not just the overall celebration. However, these swatches are beautiful. These tones are beautiful. The shimmers are beautiful. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, my interest is piqued yet again from Rowan, but I think I need to stand firm and wear my eyeshadow preferences are, and that would not align. Just wouldn't be it. I think that's it for me today. I'm gonna wrap things up. My head really hurts, so you don't need to. It's fine. I'm fine. I'll feel better very soon. I don't really know what's going on, but I just all of a sudden feeling not so great. But if you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you so much. And if you are new here and you aren't subscribed, would love to have you subscribe. We're just going to circle back. I'm circling back to the beginning of this email to say it's time to subscribe. Make sure you like this video before you leave. And again, I'm on Patreon if you would like to support me there. I'm on Instagram and I do a myriad of other things, which are all linked down below. And I would appreciate you to check those out if you are interested in seeing more of me. And I think that's it. It's time for my tagline. Follow your hote and you will find me. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Friends. Oh, my. Friends.